Yo, what is good YouTube? I'm Richie Kicks, and today I'm going to be bringing you all the performance review on Giannis Antetokounmpo's 7th signature sneaker with Nike, the Giannis Freak 7. Before we get started, if y'all enjoy sneaker content just like this, please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button down below and hit that bell notification button so you never miss another video just like this one. Also, if you did want to buy a pair of these, I'll leave an affiliate link in the description box below. If you do purchase through that link, it does help me out directly, which is very, very much appreciated. But anyways, let's get right into it. As always, starting off with the traction, the Giannis Freak 7 features like this freaky outsole, which is basically just a multi-directional outsole. It does have some like cool features in here though. I think one of these pairs actually has his like name. Oh, actually this pair, you can kind of see his name written out into the outsole, which is kind of a cool detail. And then this orange part is just some like traction, freaky, herringbone, freaky, whatever, multi-directional pattern. And how does it perform? Traction is actually really, really good. If you're playing on your clean courts, you're gonna have no issues. Like you're gonna have a very, very hard bite. And traction performance on clean courts is freaking amazing. When you're playing on like moderately dusty courts, you're still gonna have pretty good traction. Maybe the occasional wipe, and you should still have very, very good stops. If you're playing on very, very dusty courts, you'll still have good traction, but I will say that you're gonna have to wipe from time to time, obviously more often than you would on mildly dusty courts. And if you don't wipe and you do let the dust accumulate, you will probably do a small slide to a stop, which is okay. I mean, obviously I would prefer not to slide to a stop, but still, yeah, I mean, the traction is good. I never slipped out or anything, but yeah, just do your wipes and you'll still have, great stops across all court conditions. So yeah, overall, I would say, the traction on here does perform very, very well. Just got to do the occasional wipe if you are playing on your dustier courts. So moving on to the cushion. The Giannis Freak 7 features a full-length Cushlon 3.0 midsole. And how does this feel? It feels nice. It is very, very comfortable. It's super soft in the heel. You do have a lot of impact protection. You do get like maybe a little bit of bounciness out of it. Moving towards the forefoot, it does, feel a little bit more firm. And I would still say you have like an adequate amount of impact protection in the forefoot as well. The thing that you're not gonna get out of this cushion setup is a lot of court feel and responsiveness. You just don't feel very responsive. You don't feel low to the ground in the shoe. And that's something that I do like having, especially like a very good combination of having, that responsiveness, but also having impact protection. And there are some shoes that do that very well. This is not one of those, okay? So yeah, I mean, this is definitely more on the the cushiony impact protection side. It feels more comfortable, right? So yeah, that's pretty much how the cushion feels. Personally, it's not my cup of tea, but if you do like very soft Cushlon type feeling foam, you'll probably like this. But for me, it's not the best. I would prefer to have more court feel. So moving on to the materials, the Giannis Freak 7 features a textile upper, and that pretty much serves as the base of the entire shoe. You do have like other textile overlays. This kind of feels like a nylon-ish material. It's just like very slick. And then you have some like mesh in the back. But from a quality standpoint, like I don't think the materials feel bad or anything. I would say they feel pretty average for the most part. But in terms of the performance, they get the job done very well. I personally had zero issues with the materials in the shoe. It might get a little bit toasty in here, but that's pretty much the only downside when it comes to the materials, besides like the quality aspect or like how it feels. Moving to the tongue, you do have like a mesh tongue. It's not the most padded or anything, but if you do like to crank down your laces, you won't feel the laces digging into the top of your foot, which is nice. So yeah, I mean, from an overall perspective, the materials from, a quality standpoint, it's not the best, but in terms of the performance, it does get the job done just fine. So moving on to the fit, I am a slightly wide footer and I went true to size. And I will say this thing does run narrow. As a slightly wide footer, I definitely had some pain in the shoe. It does break in just a little bit, but I still felt like a pinching sensation, especially up in this forefoot area. Basically right here where this little curve is, this really just digs into the foot. And right where like my pinky toe is, or kind of where my pinky toe is, I don't know, it's like somewhere like around the forefoot-ish area, right? And yeah, it kills. as a slightly wide footer. If you have really wide feet, I would say definitely go up a half size. Otherwise, you will probably run into this issue. Slightly wide footers, just depending on how wide your foot is. You could go true to size. You could probably go up a half size. Either way, try it on in stores if possible. If not, then, just get both, honestly, and just return whichever one doesn't fit. And then narrow footers, normal footers, I do think going true to size is your best bet. How does the actual shoe fit though, besides like the sizing? It fits very, very good. I didn't have any dead space in the toe box area. The materials lie very nicely over the foot. You do have a half booty upper in this shoe, so you do get as close of a one-to-one fit as possible. And this lacing system, you do have like these little cables that the laces are running through, and it does really suck your foot into the shoe as well. So yeah, overall, I will say that the fit of the shoe is good. You just gotta watch out if you have wider feet, because you're gonna wanna go up at least a half size. So moving on to the support. I personally had maybe one support issue in this shoe. I did feel like a little bit of heel slippage in my right shoe. It wasn't like major or anything, but I did feel my heel slipping up and down a little bit. And that's just never a feeling that you want to have, but did it really have any effect on the performance? Not really, but just keep that in mind. I did have a little bit of heel slippage in my right shoe. When it comes to side-to-side movement on the footbed though, I didn't have any issues there. The materials do a great job of making sure your foot is nice and planted on that footbed. And then when it comes to hard lateral movements as well, I wouldn't say this is like the widest base or anything, but it is plenty wide enough so I didn't have any issues of instability on those hard lateral movements. And then when it comes to torsional rigidity and stability, yeah, you're covered there as well. I'm assuming there's a shank in here because it is like pretty damn stiff and rigid. So you're covered on that front. So yeah, I mean, overall the support is good. Just watch out for a potential slight, very, very minimal heel slippage issue that you may or may not have. Like I said, I only had it in my right shoe. You guys might not have it at all. So the Giannis Freak 7 retails for $115. For $115, like, I don't think that's a bad price for the shoe. You're getting like a pretty comfortable midsole setup. I'm just gonna say, for $115, for me, there's definitely other shoes that I would rather play in at that price point or even less. And it's mainly from, overseas brands, the Chinese brands. They've just been putting out bangers. This, it's still a pretty good performer, don't get me wrong, but I just think you could get a lot more for your money elsewhere. But if you did want to buy a pair of these, compared to the Freak 6, honestly, I couldn't tell you how those played. I don't really remember. And it is weird that they, transitioned away from using Zoom in those shoes to just full-length Cushlon. That did result in a price decrease though, which is why these are $115. I think the Freak 5 used to be like $130, somewhere around that price range, which is, pretty average for having Zoom in your shoes. $115 for a signature shoe, it's not bad. But like I said, for $115 elsewhere, you could get a lot more. But yeah, anyways, if you did want to buy a pair of these, I'll leave an affiliate link in the description box below. If you do purchase through that link, it does help me out directly, which is very much appreciated. But that's pretty much it for this performance review. If you all like this video, please do me a favor, hit that subscribe button down below and smash that thumbs up button for me. Leave a comment, as those really do help me out. While you guys are at it, check out these videos over here, and that's pretty much it. Until next time, peace.